Another day, another migraine. Today we will be painting a Horus Heresy, son of Horus. He'll be equipped with a bolt gun. So, a basic tactical marine. We will be starting our model off by base coating him in Caliban Green. We choose Caliban Green as it is a nice dark green, kind of foresty colors for the green. So it'll be good to get us our shadows right off the bat, as well as pairing it with the Chaos Black spray paint. We will have a perfect base coat that will have perfect shadows in all the areas that it needs shadows. But our main focus will be building up the greens, the brass, and especially at the end, the orange and yellows. You'll understand once we get there. Now, have a generous amount of Caliban Green base coated across the entire model, except for the shoulder pads. The shoulder pads we will come back and touch up later. They are going to be Abaddon Black. The Abaddon Black is a contrast to the green, thus it will pop very nicely. If you get it on the arms or on the bolt gun, do not worry, we can come back and touch it up later. This is especially important for touch-ups when it comes to other colors like metallics, especially with a model with so much trim. In this video, I also started the painting process early in the morning, and considering my desk is placed right next to a window, that is why we have better lighting than usual. We are now going to start up on our second coat of paint. This will be layer paint, Sons of Horus. This will give us a bit of a more seafoam green. That's the reason we started off with the Caliban green for the shadows. Once again, when using the Sons of Horus layer paint, make sure that you only paint the entirety of the body, backpack, and helmet and arms. Make sure that you do not paint the shoulder pads, the bolt gun, and that is it. After this process, we will soon be taking to our Abaddon Black, and we'll be touching up the areas that are meant to be black. If you would like, you can also paint your helmets black, but I believe with our paint scheme, it's better that we leave the helmets Sons of Horus green as well. You will see why later. Now when it comes to this model, he is a tad bit of a kit bash, as we used the base Mark III body, Mark III backpack, and a Mark II helmet from the current Mark II kits that were released with the Saturnine box. Along with that, we took from a Legionaries kit and took a bolt gun, the arms, and the shoulder pads. We chose a generic shoulder pad and one with a Eye of Horus and Star of Chaos. That way we wouldn't have to go to Forge World and, pay an obscene amount just to get a upgrade sprue for the Sons of Horus that are only currently in Mark VI Beaky armor. I would really hope that GW and Games Workshop or Forge World would finally give us the upgrades for the other armor marks that they've already made. We've seen the Mark IIs and the Mark IIIs make their refresh. I think it would be nice if we saw their upgrades make a refresh too. The older upgrades for the Mark IIIs and Mark IIs are kinda dated when it comes to the shoulder pads. Back in the day, the shoulder pads had a much more squared off rim, instead of these much more sharper and refined shoulder pads. They are also very prone to breaking easily when it comes to how the old ones were made. Thus the reason many people would argue that going to a recaster would be easier for getting the upgrades. Oftentimes, recasters make better quality for upgrades. Horus Heresy characters, Horus Heresy specific squads, the Primarchs, and many more. They also charge a much lower rate, as I've seen upgrade sprues go for around $60, $20, and sometimes $40. Meanwhile, recasters charge a mere $9, and very rarely $12. I'm speaking on one specific type of recaster group that I know of, but I do not support them in any way, never have, and never will. When it comes to upgrading your Space Marines, you should only go with the genuine, overpriced upgrades from Forge World. Totally. Now, that's actually something I want to talk about. Supporting the hobbies. As much as I do actually hate the prices that big corporations charge, especially for how little it costs to make the said models and ship them, it is still good that we go out to our local hobby stores and pay the prices. And sometimes, it's also nice to feel that accomplished sense. Saving up the money to get that new kit, going to the store, conversing with the people at the store, and yes, while I know lots of Warhammer fans are shut-ins, it's still good that you go out and interact with people. At my very specific store, we had an amazing employee named Tony. This man, Tony, he was very energetic and loud. He was very nice. He made me, a very shut-in person who was heavily socially anxious, open up, smile, and even make friends. It was thanks to him mostly that I actually decided to start doing commission work on these models. It's partly due to him that I actually started this YouTube channel, among various other people. Thanks to him being louder than I was comfortable with, but also one of the only workers there, being forced to interact with him to purchase items and stuff really opened me up. He made it easy to get along with him, as he was just genuinely that nice. In this world, I believe that we can use more Tonys. And I can only wish that he still worked at the store. Despite him not working there anymore, I still enjoy going to the store every now and again, remembering when he was working there. It was actually kind of funny because the store recently got a new hire who was also named Tony. Now, the funniest part about it is, when Tony originally worked at the store, he told us, my family and me, that he too was very quiet, reserved, and shut in at a point. But he realized he can make more people come to the store, enjoy the store, and, enjoy the hobby by being energetic. So he decided to open up more, and eventually he was able to do that for other people too. It was part of his charm. He can make friends with even the people who didn't want to be friends. He can make you smile on days you didn't want to smile. Tony was overall a good guy. If Tony is seeing this video, I hope you're well, Tony. Now, as going back to our video, we're currently touching up our Runelord Brass. We had just finished our Abaddon Black earlier. Now, for the Runelord Brass, we're going to be painting the entire face mask of the Mk2 helmet, all of the trim all over the model. Yes, that includes the gun. We're going to be working with... Wait, have we gone there yet? Yes, we have. Oh wait, we're on Lead Belcher. Oh dang, I'm behind. Sorry. But for our Lead Belcher, we're mostly going to be having to paint our bolt gun, and our backpack, and the power cables on the back of the legs. Aside from that, there's nothing else on our model currently that will require Runelord, or whatchamacallit, I literally just said it. Lead Belcher. There we go. Yes, I just had to reach over and actually check the paint name. After we do this, we can start working on our yellows, as that will be the final bit of the model. Now for our yellows, we'll need to work on the 2 eyeballs and the visor of our helmet. We're going to paint them all exactly the same, except for the visor, which won't have a slight streak of chaos or Abaddon black in the center. Now that we're actually here, it is time to start with, I don't even know what this is, Lunganath Orange? Lunganath? Lunganath? I really want to sit in on a conference meeting at GW, just so I can find out how the hell they name their paints. Because some of these paints are just so weird named. I mean, yeah, Runelord Brass, I get it, it's a brass. Wild Rider Red? White Scars. Cassandora Yellow. It's an orange. It is a genuine orange. Doomfire Magenta. Okay, that's magenta. I can give you that. But some of these other paints, I don't understand how they come up with the names. But as I said, we'll paint our star, or the eyeball inside the star, the eyeball inside the star on the gun, and then we'll streak it across his visor. Doing this will give us our good base coat for our eye lenses and, eyeball. Now, as much as I can hear you complaining, the eye's gonna look exactly the same as the visor. You can't really tell them apart now. Trust the process, despite it being eerily similar in color and shade, and how it just looks in the light, you will be able to tell the difference later. This is because later on, we're going to be using a contrast, a shade paint, and yeah. Also, if you clicked onto this video, you'll be able to see a preview of the model as the cover picture. So, if you're not just sitting here letting YouTube pick videos for you, you've already seen what the guy looks like at the end. So, yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, I do actually enjoy letting YouTube pick my videos too, but sometimes they. Now, next up, we're going to be putting a little bit of Wild Rider Red. Wild Rider Red is more like a sunset orange. Or sunset red. I don't know which one you guys call it, or if you even refer to this color at all. But that's what it is. Right there. We're basically going to put this as the eye color. How the orange is meant to be like the whites of the eyes, then the Wild Rider Red is supposed to be the actual color of the eye. And then later we're going to put a line down the center, which will be the pupil. Now we're also going to be in the very watered down Luganath orange, and layer this on, and then tap it away with our fingertip. That way it's more flushed with how the colors change. Just trust the process, that's all you have to do. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. There you go. Next up. Which one is this? The Imperial Fist Contrast, where we go back to the eyes finally. This already gives our recesses on the eyes a bit more color, makes it a bit more gold tinged. We will do this with both eyeballs too. That way they have more of that gold tinge. We actually use gold quite a bit on this channel now that I look at the models behind us. The Blood Angels, the full Adeptus Custodi. I'm not going to say It's gold on the salamanders, but definitely gold on the red corsair. Next up, we'll be taking this super duper tiny brush, getting the absolute minimal amount of chaos or Abaddon black, and doing a singular slit upwards in the center of both eyeballs. Just like that. Now this one, we can make it more curved, but I would recommend just doing the basic. Next up, we take Casadora Yellow, the weirdly named orange shade paint. And yes, I will fight you on this one. It is orange, not yellow. Get your naming right, GW. And we just put it on there. And last but not least, we put it on the eye socket too. Or visor socket. And with that, thank you for watching. Thank you to the subscribers, my girlfriend, Valerie, Naomi, my girlfriend's brother, mother, and everyone else. Bye-bye. And, last but not least, here are the paints that were used in the video. Along with that, the shades and contrast. Bye-bye.